Welcome back to another episode of The John, your daily sports dump, where we plunge into the sports world. We're your sports pipeline for breaking news, game recaps, and the hottest takes in the sports industry. So I take care of business, let us force out the details, and fill you in on what's happening. So take a seat, get comfortable, and make sure you have plenty of TP. It's time to explode the commode. I'm your host, John, and today we're diving into March Madness reactions, breaking down how Illinois went so far and how successful they are, how UConn is building a dynasty and chasing history tonight, and how Michigan could arguably be one of the best teams of all time if they win this national championship today. All right, guys, first I want to talk about my Illinois Fighting Illini. Obviously, there's a little bit of bias here, but I think they had a season that no one predicted. No one predicted Keaton Wagler was going to have the season he did. No one predicted the season David Mirkovic was going to have, and they were the best offense. They were a deep team. They had Wagler averaging almost 18 points, Boswell averaging 13, Stojakovic averaging 13, Mirkovic almost averaged a double-double. Tomislav Ivasic was a stretch five. Like, this team was a great team, and they surprised, I think, everybody, including myself. I didn't think they were going to make it to the Final Four. I did not think they were going to beat Houston in the Sweet 16. But the thing is their offense was so good, their defense was going to give out at some point. I did not think they were going to be able to consistently play that elite-level defense that they were able to play against Houston for that game, and it showed against UConn. They scored 62 points, shot 33%, they're basically 34% from the fields, and the big kicker had 3 assists. So you're not going to win a game with 3 assists, and especially against a team like UConn where they're so dominant on the inside part of the ball. I mean, you have to be able to pass the ball. You have to be able to make your shots, and that's something UConn did. UConn made 11 threes, and I'll talk about it right here. That's something that UConn needs to do tonight to win. If they want to win tonight, they need to hit threes. 10-plus threes, I think they win this game. That's how dominant I think Michigan is. UConn needs to hit 10-plus threes in order for them to have a chance and be in this game. That's how dominant UConn has been this whole turn, or how dominant Michigan has been. But UConn, we got to talk about this. 2023 national champs, 2024 back-to-back. Last year, round of 32, loss. And this year, they're back in the national championship. As much as I do not like Dan Hurley, and I'm not a Dan Hurley guy, I think he's a lot. I think that should have been a technical foul when he runs his forehead into the official, and it wasn't called. But can I respect and say that he's one of the best coaches in the country, arguably of all time? I don't even think they need to win this. I think Dan Hurley's a top 5 coach of all time in college basketball, no matter what. He's turned this program around and has made them I mean, Alex Karaban, if he wins this, has won the national championship 3 out of his 4 years in college. That is unheard of. And, I mean, it's night and day. And they were not favored to beat my Illini, and they did. They dominated Illinois. Illinois looked lost that whole game, could not get comfortable, could not get in an offensive flow, could not hit their three-pointers, and that's because Dan Hurley, as a coach, knows how to get his players ready. And that's why I think all these people that are saying Michigan is going to have it a really easy game tonight, I think you're crazy. I think Dan Hurley is going to show his guys up, tell them what to do, and they're not going to get scared of this moment. I mean, they're 27-4. They're built for this moment, and they're 27-4, and that was obviously heading in to March Madness. Now they're on a whole nother roll. And guys, their defense is something that I think they can actually legitimately compete with Michigan in their high power offense. Michigan is, dog walked Arizona, and they were hitting threes left and right. But I think Dan Hurley will coach his guys up. I really do, and I think it's going to be a much closer game than many people are thinking. And right, Terrace Reed is one of, I feel like, the most underrated superstars in college basketball. I mean, he's averaging 20 points, almost 15 rebounds in this tournament. Solo ball, obviously. Silas Demery is another dude. Had 6 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 8 assists, or whatever, and 8 rebounds. Like, against Illinois, was spilling the stat sheet up, and that's something that I think they need him to do tonight. They need him to do his job. They need Mullins to do his job. They need Karaban to do his job. But this UConn team has consistently been one of the best teams in the country for the past 4 to 5 years, and that is a direct microcosm of Dan Hurley. Dan Hurley preaches excellence, coaches excellence, and that is why he is the best, I think arguably the best coach in college basketball. Right, John Shire at Duke is a good coach. He recruits. He does an amazing job. Bill Self, Rick Pitino, great guys. You know who beat and won that side of the bracket? Dan Hurley. His group came out of that region, and I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that is something that is there's a reason behind it. And obviously now I talked a little bit about it, but now I got to talk about their opponent, Michigan. Michigan this year has been, they started out the year rocky, beat Wake Forest by 1 point to start their season, and since then they're 36-3. They've lost to Wisconsin, tournament team, Duke, tournament team, Purdue, tournament team. That's it. They've won every other game, and they've dominated. Their offense has been elite, and their defense has been elite. They're outscoring per average, right? They're averaging around 87 points per game, giving up around 70. So if they give up their average, they're winning by almost 20 points. And then obviously they have star players. Yaxel Enborg is someone who I think gets a lot of the attention, but someone who I think needs to get more attention is Adai Mara. If Adai Mara has when he has great games, they win basketball games. That is how this Michigan team is built, and I think they need Adai Mara to have another huge game tonight, right? Obviously, you need Merez Johnson. You need Rodney Gale Jr. You need Trey McKinney. You need Yaxel, right? Even though Yaxel's going to be a little hurt. They are going to need Adai Mara to win this game, especially with Terrace Reed, especially with that physicality down low. They're going to need him. And I talked about it, why I think they're one of the best teams of all time. Their tournament, they have an average win of margin by almost 22 points a game. That's not like they're in close, 2-score games. They're blowing the water out of these other teams, and it's not like these are bum teams that they're beating. They're beating Arizona, who is the unanimous number one team for basically the whole entire year. Like, they're not just beating these okay teams. And that's why I have to compare them to some of these all-time teams, right? 2015 Kentucky, obviously they ended up losing in the championship, something that Michigan could win tonight, but defense-heavy Kentucky in 2015, obviously they have the young talent there with Cat and all of them. I think Michigan has a better offense. They're both equally as dominant, but I think Michigan's offense is better than that 2015 team, right? Obviously, you want to talk about the Fab Five of Michigan. This team's obviously, I think, miles better than that Fab Five team, and I don't really think it's that close. I think this Michigan offense and defense is so statistically dominant that Fab Five Michigan team could not do much against them. And then, obviously, 2018 Nova. Villanova shot the light out of the ball. But what else do they have over Michigan? I don't really think anything. Who's their number one? Brunson. All right. Take Brunson over Cadeau. Number 2, DiVincenzo. Do I take him over McKinney? I don't know. Number 3, right? Let's say Yaxel's at their 3 or 4. I'm taking Yaxel over Bridges. I mean, this is just me speaking, right? And obviously, you should take it with however you want. I think this Michigan team, if they win, could go down as the most dominant and best team of all time, right? They'll have 3 losses. Yeah, they didn't go undefeated. But the way that they're beating these teams at this specific time is unheard of. Like, guys, I'm trying to preference this to you. You've never seen a team be this dominant and how dominant Michigan is right now. And I think if they win tonight, they're the most dominant team of all time. If UConn wins tonight, which that's leading me to my next topic. If UConn wins tonight, I think they're the best dynasty in college basketball. Right? Obviously, you had the Florida Gators go back-to-back. You had Florida looking to do that again this year. 3 championships in 4 years. That's a dynasty. And that's the best college dynasty I think we're ever going to see. And if UConn wins, which I believe UConn needs to play a perfect game if they want to win tonight, they're the best dynasty that we've arguably ever seen. Right? Obviously, Duke has been continuously good. North Carolina continuously good. Kansas continuously good. But 3 championships in 4 years? Are you kidding me? That's dominance. And that's something that I think Dan Hurley preaches. And I think tonight, Dan Hurley will prove it. And his guys on UConn, even though they beat my Fighting Illini, will come out on top and will be the 2026 national champions. Guys, that's all I have for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of The Jam. We flushed out all the nonsense. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, sports updates and hot takes in real time. Join me next time on The John, your daily sports ump, where we'll be delivering hazardous cargo of sports insights. Until then, keep game face on and stay regular. This is The John.
Don't nobody go in the bathroom for about 35, 45 minutes.